patron online. That would be Mr. Damon Barone. He will be our only speaker for tonight. Mr. Barone, you will have 5 minutes to speak. We will give Gerard a few moments to go ahead and post the clock, Gerard, if you can. Mr. Barone, the clock is now posted. I would say to you 30 seconds as you're approaching that time. You may begin.
President Williams, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hello?
We can hear you, Mr. Barone.
I can't hear you all. President Williams, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. First of all, before I start, point of order, the number that you read in the passcode that you gave for the patron presentation is incorrect. It's also incorrect on the website. So I had to email Gerard to get the updated one. So there's people that do not have access or not accessible to this patron presentation. And I can't hear you through my device.
Damon, are you able to hear me? Okay. Well,
Gerard, are you unmuted?
Pardon me?
Damon, can you hear us?
Damon, this is HD.
I can hear you all on the computer at a 30-second delay, but I can't hear you on the telephone device.
Okay, so Damon, I'm going to go ahead and...
I can hear you on my computer, but I can't hear you on my telephone device.
Okay, so you will begin, and after the 5 minutes is up, I will say you have 30 seconds. Would that be okay to mitigate the gap?
Yeah, but my point is that you all gave the wrong information for patrons to speak.
Mr. Barone, that was unintended, and that needs to be verified. That was unintended, but are you going to speak at this time? Because we have to continue.
Yes, I intend on speaking.
Okay, all righty. So, Gerard, put up the clock, please, so that I may see, and the public, those who can see publicly.
Are you all ready for me?
Yes, sir. We're ready.
Are you all ready?
Yes, we are ready, Mr. Barone.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and start. Greetings, Damon Barone, Alief ISD parent, taxpayer, and alumnus. As an Alief ISD parent, I am deeply disappointed that parents nor students were given the opportunity to express our feelings through a democratic process for Superintendent Chambers' nomination. We have voiced our disapprovals of his leadership during board meetings. If you all really value us as stakeholders, like you say in the mission statement and vision statement, you would have never submitted Superintendent Henry David Chambers Jr.'s name to be nominated for our community as TASB Superintendent of the Year. When I look at all the previous winners of this award, I noticed that each winner had the letters doctors in front of their name. Alief Superintendent Chambers only has the letters Mr. in front of his name. To put things in perspective, Mr. Chambers has served as superintendent for 2 different school districts, Stafford ISD for 5 years, Alief ISD for 10 years, for a total of 15 years and counting. During Mr. Chambers' 10 years in Alief alone, I personally know of a multiple of teachers and administrators in our district that have obtained their doctoral degree while under the leadership of Mr. Chambers. My biggest concerns are that this is just an orchestrated ploy to assist Mr. Chambers' efforts to try and seek becoming the superintendent of HISD when Dr. Grenada Latham leaves in June of 2021, or trying to seek becoming the superintendent of Fort Bend ISD when Dr. Charles Dupree leaves in December of 2021, or trying to seek becoming the superintendent of Lamar Consolidated ISD as Dr. Thomas Randall retired in December of 2020. If Mr. Chambers is successful in acquiring any of these 3 superintendent jobs, especially HISDs, as they are the largest school district in the state of Texas, Mr. Chambers' personal and professional organized crime unit has an opportunity to continue flourishing and has a larger platform to reward kickbacks to its supporters and enforcers. Under Mr. Chambers' leadership, our student enrollment numbers have significantly decreased, even prior to the pandemic. Parents, students, and staff's voices have been silent and retaliated against when we advocate for our concerns. The district has admitted to systematic racism, which can be found in the new board policy, educational philosophy, as it relates to the education and discipline actions, specifically towards African American males. This can also be affirmed by reviewing legal cases against Alief ISD. 25% of our elementary schools, 6 out of 24, have remained on TEA's improvement required status for multiple years, which will trigger a state takeover of our district. Every year, the district loses almost 400 new teachers with 0 to 3 years of experience. The district alleges that they are implementing grow our own teachers from within our community, but you all spend extra money to go import student teachers from Nebraska who do not look like our community, nor can they relate to our community. You all spend extra money to go to Puerto Rico to import Spanish-speaking teachers, and we have a plethora of Spanish-speaking teachers and individuals here in Texas. The icing on the cake for me was when Trustee Jennifer Key openly stated during a board meeting that the Alief ISD School Board allows Mr. Chambers to participate in his own performance evaluations, and he is afforded the opportunity to give input and guidance in the tools which the school board uses to evaluate him on each year. I'm asking that the school board fully detail and disclose what data you all specifically looked at or are looking at to make your recommendation and subsequently vote on nominating Mr. Chambers for the TASB Superintendent of the Year Award. Although I'm asking to see the data which you all may be using to guide your decisions, I'm also forever reminded that during Mr. Chambers' first year in Alief as our superintendent, he openly stated during the Alief Leadership Network committee meeting that he and his administrators have the ability to make data say whatever they want it to say. Damon Barone, Alief ISD parent, taxpayer, and alumnus. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barone. That will conclude the patron presentation portion of our meeting. At this time, we will move on to the next item on the agenda. That item on the agenda is to consider approval of the resolution to nominate superintendent for TASB Superintendent of the Year.